Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our Citrix Cloud orientation. My name is Michelle Detloff, and I am a Senior Program Manager specifically focused on the Customer Success Management team here at Citrix. And joining me today, we have Keith Bellward, who is a Senior Customer Success Manager, and he is here to take you through your first stop on your cloud journey. And so he will guide you through the initial steps of getting started with your cloud subscription and also point out where you can go from here to help you get the most out of your new purchase. So there are tons of helpful links and resources throughout the presentation. So I highly recommend you download the PowerPoint deck, and you'll get that from under the Event Resources tab on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Or just make sure that you have something handy to take notes. We will also have some time at the end for live Q&A, so feel free to type in any questions that you may have throughout the presentation. And then don't forget that you can always sign up for our complimentary Office Hours series to ask questions and connect with our customer success team really at any point throughout your cloud journey. So without further ado, take it away, Keith.
Hey, thank you, Michelle. Well, the first thing I'd like to do is welcome everyone to the Citrix Cloud. We are certainly excited to have you as part of our Citrix family now. And as Michelle mentioned, my name is Keith Bellward, and I'm a Senior Customer Success Manager here at Citrix. I've been working with Citrix now for 6 years, and in those 6 years, I have helped countless customers like yourselves get started and realize the full potential of their Citrix investment. Michelle and I have done a lot of research. We've consulted with our peers, and we've really kind of pooled our resources all so we could build out this Getting Started guide to help more people reap the benefits of our collective experience and proven methodology. We want to make sure that we're imparting that wisdom down to you guys, share lessons learned, and help you get off and running. So here's a brief outline of what we will cover today. At the end of the presentation, everyone should expect to know how to log in, add administrators, and how to contact technical support, and where to go for full configuration guides and helpful how-to videos. So first things first, I'm sure you're wondering how to get logged in. By now, you should have received a welcome email with instructions. Note that in order to access the Citrix Cloud console, you need a Citrix Cloud account. The welcome email will be sent to the email address that is on the purchase order. If you haven't received a welcome email, don't worry about that. I recommend checking the email address that was on the purchase order and your spam folders. If you check all those and you still can't find that email, I would suggest we open a case with the customer service team, which we'll cover a little bit later in the presentation. So once you've created your account, you can log into the dashboard at citrix.cloud.com. I would recommend bookmarking this page. This is where you will configure and manage your cloud environment. It is also where you can see your entitlements, monitor support tickets, receive notifications, and things like that. Existing Citrix customers will go to citrix.cloud.com, and you can log in with your citrix.com, your MyCitrix, or your Citrix Cloud credentials. If another administrator from your Citrix account has already created the Citrix Cloud account, you may be prompted with a message, the account is already in use. If this is the case, you'll need to request approval in order to be added to the Citrix Cloud account, even if you're already a member of the Citrix Cloud account. For brand new customers, all you'll need to do is simply click the sign up and try free button, and we'll follow the prompts and you'll get logged in. So the first time you log in, you're going to be prompted to select a region. I want to make sure I call to attention that you need to select the proper region because this can't be changed once it's set up. Make sure you pick a region that maps to where a majority of your end users and resources are going to be located. As you can see here on the screen, there are 3 current available regions: Asia Pacific South, European Union, and the United States. So be sure to confirm and choose wisely to avoid any potential headaches down the road. I really want to specifically call this out for our customers that are on the call today in the APJ region. Michelle and I have kind of seen this a couple times where if they've selected the region incorrectly, and it just makes a lot of work for you guys on the back end. So when you're selecting that region, definitely make sure you're selecting the correct one. So now that you've gotten logged in, I'm going to recommend going ahead and taking a moment to invite at least one other administrator to help you manage your Citrix Cloud account. To do this from the Citrix Cloud Management Console, click the hamburger menu in the top left and select Identity and Access Management. Then, under the Administrators tab, you will select from the drop-down and add Citrix Identity and enter their email address to invite them. They will then receive login instructions via email to get started. All right, so now that you've taken care of the first steps, you'll find the tiles for all of your services you have access to located on your Citrix Cloud dashboard homepage. You'll notice the services that you're currently entitled to will have a blue box that says Manage. So I know some of you may be excited for 1 or 2 particular services, but definitely make sure you check out everything you have access to once you get your initial use case settled, because I'm sure you're going to find added benefits that you weren't even expecting to find. If you're interested in testing out additional services, note that you can only request access to trials and demos. For some services, you may need to request a demo before you can receive trial access. If after going through the trial period you decide to buy the service, you'll get the option to convert your trial to a production account. So there's no need to reconfigure anything or create a separate account. Once you have it set up, and you should be ready to go. Next, I want to point out where you can find your org ID. From the Cloud Dashboard homepage, you can find it in the top right-hand corner or under Account Settings. This may come in handy should you ever need to open or reference a support ticket. I also want to point out these little white icons in the top right-hand corner. These are extremely helpful and you'll get a lot of use out of them. The conversation bubble is our feedback and suggestions tab. This is going to be where you'll want to go to track open support cases or things like that you're tracking in your cloud account. We have the megaphone, which is our what's new in the Citrix Cloud. And this is going to direct you to blogs about product-specific information. The next is our bell, and that is the notifications. And it's really going to be a great spot for you to go to see updates to the cloud. And the last one, the question mark, is our help tab. And this is where you can go to find documentation, discussion forums, getting started guides. So all of these top bars are filled with fantastic information I'm sure you guys will get a lot of use out of. Now, I highly recommend that you sign up for a couple of updates. The first is the Health Services Dashboard updates. This will keep you in the loop so you can stay up to date on the availability of the cloud services and upcoming planned maintenances so you're never caught off guard. To subscribe, you'll go to status.cloud.com and enter your email address. You'll be able to narrow down and choose just the specific services that apply to you. I also recommend signing up for the security bulletin and software updates so you can be alerted of any security vulnerabilities and stay informed with upcoming releases. To set these up, you'll go to support.citrix.com/users/alerts. Then you'll sign in with your Citrix account, enable Notify Me through email, and then you'll enable Notify Me about Security Bulletin. Add your products under the Notify Me about software updates. So now we realize that not everyone on this call has content collaboration licenses. So this next part may not apply to everyone, but we did just want to take a minute and walk through the process of linking those licenses to your cloud accounts, since this seems to come up quite a bit. Also note that we have included the full guide for more detailed instructions at the top of this slide. So what you're going to want to do is go to the My Services tab, locate the content collaboration. In Add Services, select Link Account, and the content collaboration page will appear. Then you'll select the content collaboration account you'd like to link. And while we're on the topic, you'll want to watch out for double provisioning if you're migrating from a standalone ShareFile account. If you run into this issue, you will want to reach out to the customer service team, which is actually going to be a great transition into our next topic. So should you ever run into any technical issues with your account, I want to point out some tips and tricks to help you get the most seamless experience. First up, I want to go over the difference between technical support and customer service. You'll want to reach out to technical support if you encounter any issues with the actual product. So if something is broken, your account is down, if you need help troubleshooting, or just general performance issues, we'll dive a little deeper into the next slide on how to actually submit a technical support case. On the other hand, if you ever run into any licensing issues or general account issues, for example, from earlier, if you did not receive your welcome email, or if you have trouble connecting your content collaboration licenses, both of those situations would actually fall under customer service. We have included a link at the top where you can submit either a technical support or a customer service case. So I would be sure to bookmark this or save this website for future use. Now, like I mentioned, if you do experience any technical issues, you're going to want to open a case for assistance with troubleshooting, break fix, or other product support issues. In terms of how to open a case, there are a couple different options in addition to the link at the top of the previous slide. You can call the 800 number to speak directly with a representative. If you're experiencing an outage or loss of functionality, you should always call in. Calling in will always yield the fastest response times. Just a quick note that if you are located outside of the U.S., we do have a link here for additional numbers. This would be good to write down or keep handy just in case. I also want to mention that if you call in and don't get a hold of someone immediately, make sure that you are available within the hour following, because the support team will close the ticket if they cannot reach you within an hour of your initial call. And we definitely don't want to see your issues be prolonged for too long. If you prefer to submit a ticket through the cloud dashboard, you can always click the Open a Ticket button from the home page, and it will redirect you to the self-service case management portal. This will prompt you for a couple details and then offer content recommendations based on your submissions, or offer you chat options to help forego submitting a ticket. At that point, you'll have the option to fill out a couple of more details to have a support representative contact you. I recommend adding those notes to your availability in the description to help ensure an appropriate callback time. We've also included a detailed guide here if you ever need help opening a support case. If you need to escalate your case, you can call the 800 number and you'll be directed to provide a case number or email. A rep will reply within about 2 hours from the receipt of an email. And it's important to keep that case number on handy around, just because we want to make sure you have the proper number, and this will help expedite the process. So now that you know how to get started and what to do if you ever run into trouble, let's dive into all the resources you have at your disposal. I want to start with the Cloud Success Center because this actually houses everything in one place. So we have actually aggregated all of those resources into a one-stop shop. In order to get the most out of the Success Center, I want to take some time and walk you through our methodology and how to best navigate the tool. And this way you're going to reap all the benefits it has to offer. So like I said before, we've put everything under one roof for you. So in addition to prereq checklists, build guides, and tools, this is where you'll also find customer stories, how to contact a virtual CSM, support forums, our cloud community, education, and other tools to help you along your journey. The best part is that everything is kept up to date with the latest version, so you don't have to worry about out-of-date guides. So resources and build guides are obviously going to be helpful for configuration, but the real benefit of the Success Center is the guidance through our proven methodology. This has been built out through extensive research and experience working with customers and has shown to generate the results for our customers. Ultimately, we want to make sure you have everything you need to reach your desired outcomes and achieve your intended use cases, and this will help you get there. And hopefully, while you're there, you'll even uncover some unexpected new use cases that you can benefit from. So now that I've sold you on the benefits of the Success Center, I'm sure you're wondering how you can access. So what you're going to want to do is go to success.citrix.com and you will log in with your My Citrix credentials. I highly recommend you bookmark this page, save it, favorite it, whatever you need to do, because this is going to be your new best friend. So once you're in the Success Center, the first and most imperative step will be to create your success plan. This will be your foundation that encompasses all of the information and resources for your cloud project. In fact, you won't be able to access the build guides or the videos we mentioned earlier until you create your success plan. I really encourage you to take your time and think through your plan so you can get the most value of it. The success plan will guide you through these 5 questions, and then it will generate the applicable resources based on your answers. So the first question it will ask you is the confirmation of your Citrix Cloud service that will be included in the success plan. Keep in mind that you can add multiple if you're planning on implementing multiple projects. The next question will be where you're starting from. Are you moving from on-prem Citrix, a non-Citrix environment, net new Citrix, or add to Citrix Cloud? The third question, where are your resources going to be located? You're going to want to provide where your infrastructure is going to reside. The fourth question, what are your primary use cases and the main goal of the implementation project? Are you looking to increase productivity? Are you going to be enhancing security or deliver a unified workspace? And the last question is going to be, how are you going to measure success for this project? Is it enabling remote access? Is it implementing a bring your own device? Or are you just looking to enhance your user experience? So once you've answered these questions, the shell of the success plan will be created and will be broken down into 6 components that we'll briefly run through right now. The first is your plan. The plan section is where you can plan out your timeline, determine who will be responsible for each piece, and what will their role be throughout the project. The second phase is prepare. So once the plan is put in place, you can start the prep work. This step includes resources to train the technical team and pre-implementation checklists for content collaboration, endpoint management, and virtual apps and desktops. This will help make sure you have everything in place before you move on to the next phase. The third phase is our build phase. So now that everything is in place, you can actually start to build out the environment. The build phase is where you'll find all of the appropriate deployment guides with detailed installation instructions. So this is arguably the most important and helpful phase. We also have testing guides available, so don't forget to test out and validate your environment to make sure everything is running smoothly. Once you're done with the build phase, you're going to want to move into your pilot. Before you roll out to your end users, we always recommend running at least one pilot group to make sure that everything is in working order. Based on my experience, I suggest that your pilot group be made up of users from IT and power users, and then run through this process with as many pilot groups as you see fit. The fifth phase is our rollout. So once your pilot is complete and you're ready to deploy to your end users, we know this can be challenging sometimes. So we've put together this helpful adoption kit to help ease with the transition. We've got guides to distribute, banners to hang up around the office to help with the announcement, and we've even put together email templates so you don't have to come up with the verbiage. Everything can be customized with your company logo and includes best practices and the most effective for rollout communications. So our last phase is manage. So now you've rolled out and you're on your way to achieving those initial outcomes you laid out in the success plan. But why stop there? This section will help you to improve and maximize your environment beyond the initial configuration. Whether you want to optimize your end user experience with director and studio guides or proactively combat potential security threats by leveraging Citrix Analytics, don't worry, we've got you covered. I also encourage you to dive deeper to uncover some use cases you may not have even thought about so you can get a higher return on your investment. And with that, that wraps up the advice I can give you to help you get off and running. If you take advantage of these resources, you'll be in good shape. So now I'm going to kick it back to Michelle.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Keith. And like Keith mentioned, the Cloud Success Center will be your best friend and has everything that you need. But I will take a moment just to review some additional resources that we have available for you. So first up, we have some education offerings available if you want to become even more of a Citrix expert. So we have both instructor-led training if you're looking for more of a hands-on training approach. And then we also have e-learning available if you prefer more of a self-paced at-home training. So both of those are available via the websites listed. And then we've also pulled out to the right some recommended courses that would be a good starting point. So in addition to the Success Center and all the tools that we've mentioned, we also have started delivering tips and tools directly to your inbox and right within the product. I know, like we mentioned, when it comes to change management, there's no such thing as over-communication. So we want to just make sure that you are well equipped to get started. So first, you'll begin receiving emails with tips on how to get started. These emails will contain links to documentation and helpful how-to content, whether it's how to install a cloud connector or how to configure your identity provider, tons of resources there. And then once you click through one of those emails, will be taken to Citrix Cloud, and then it's going to pick up with an in-product guide that will walk you through those tasks at hand. And so if you're not quite ready, you can always X out, and then you can pick right back up in Citrix Cloud at any time. If you notice that little blue compass in the lower right corner of the screen, so you can dive right back in whenever you are ready. And if you have not started receiving these emails, or you aren't sure and you just want to be added, you can always email us at cloudsuccess@citrix.com, and we can take care of making sure that you receive those. All right, so a lot of these resources you can actually access within the Success Center, but in the spirit of just overemphasizing and really reiterating important details, I want to call out these particular offerings. And to be sure to check out first the events page. I would touch base with that regularly just to see if there's any live events in your area. And we also have tons of webinars and resources for digital events that you can check out that might pique your interest. I also recommend going ahead and subscribing to the Citrix blog channel. That way you can stay on top of relevant updates. The Customer Success Management team actually puts out 2 specific ones, so keep an eye out for the Citrix Tips blogs as well as the Cloud Guide posts. And then third, we have the Citrix Docs, and this is just another helpful place for technical guidance. So again, just hitting you from every angle there. And if you're interested in connecting with your peers, we have support forums and discussion boards so you can hear what other users are up to. And then finally, don't forget that you can always at any point sign up for our weekly office hours, and that will help you connect with both the customer success manager and the customer success engineer so they can answer any cloud questions that you have at any point throughout your journey. So to sign up for those, you can either click the link here, or you can sign up directly at bit.ly/cloud kickoff. All right, and then last but not least, you can also reach out to the customer success team at any point by opening a ticket from within the Success Center. And with that, that is all we have for you today. So thanks again so much for tuning in. Hopefully you feel well prepared and excited to get started with Citrix Cloud. Now let's go ahead and open up the floor for some live Q&A.